Miss Transformers 96 here with another review. This time it is of the Guardians of the Galaxy Legends Infinite Series Drax figure. Yeah, with the Build-A-Figure being Groot. So here you go. So first of all, let's go over the package. Like I've expressed in both my Spider-Man and Captain America Marvel Legend reviews, I love the style of this box. It's so perfect. And then each different line has a different color scheme. With Spider-Man it was red, with Captain America was blue, and now with Guardians of the Galaxy we've got a nice purple color scheme. Looks great. I do think the Guardians of the Galaxy packaging is better than the other two because the side pictures are all pictures of the characters, which is fantastic, while the Spider-Man and Captain America series just had the picture of the main character, which was Spider-Man or Captain America on each package. So it's great that we get individual artwork of each one on there, and it makes shifting through them on the shelves a lot easier because you can just look at the artwork on the side. And this is just beautiful artwork of Drax, as you can see. Looks quite incredible and really do love it. Tons of detail there. So cool. On the back we do get a nice picture of Drax with a small bio. Doesn't really say much that we don't know. He just wants to avenge his family, and he's strives Drax. He knows no limits, and to avenge the loss of his family no matter the cost. Here's the figures in the wave so far. No variants or substitutes. It's all just the characters. As you can see, you get the main Guardians of the Galaxy team with the Build-A-Figure, and then you get two comic series characters. I like that. I think it's a pretty good idea because when they stopped the comic series Marvel Legends, they said that they would just put comic characters in with the movie toy lines. And although I'd really would have loved to see Ronin or one of the villains, it does make sense that they would do two comic characters with the main team. So don't mind it. I have them all except for Rocket Raccoon and Nova. Those were both figures that were sold out on ToysRUs.com and Hasbro.com, which is where I got these figures. So hopefully I can just find them when they hit stores. And then here's the Build-A-Figure. Very much looking excited to building him. Alright, so now on to Drax. This is, I believe that the actor who plays him is like a wrestler or a fighter in real life. So he's got a big build that definitely matches the character description with this just massive guy. So yeah, going over the sculpt. I really do like this figure. I think that it is definitely one of the best out of the wave so far that I've had. Just go over the actual sculpt. Face sculpt looks like the actor. I really don't have many problems. I mean, it looks pretty perfect, I have to say. Really well done, definitely from the sides and everything. And it looks perfect, I think. Just the way that they did the tattoos is great because the tattoos aren't just painted on, they are actually sculpted on and then painted on top, which is just awesome. And I really don't see any paint smudging or anything with all this detail, so that is pretty impressive. And the detail on these tattoos are just fantastic. Really pretty incredible. Definitely a very unique figure to have all of this body art that's not just painted on, it's actually sculpted on, and it's just really well done. I have to say they did an amazing job here. The green that they use is a very light kind of mint green. I think it works pretty well, and definitely a more realistic look than a very dark green like we've seen in the comic version, but overall quite nice. I'll go over his knives in a second here, but then we go down to his pants. Overall very cool. I mean, they do wear different color pants in the movies. In the movie, I mean, the movie's obviously not out right now, but from the trailers we do know that he has the prison yellow pants. He's got these red ones, and then there is another color pants I think that he has, but they went with the red here. I think that that's a pretty good choice. Overall, it's a really nice dark kind of burgundy red, which looks good. Sculpting's pretty nice. There's not too much detail on here, but it's enough. It looks like it's completely accurate. And then the boots are really cool. Love all the buckles on them, and they do have places where that you can put the knives, which is really cool. Now going over those knives, as you can see, he does hold them really nicely. Sometimes they do kind of slip and kind of point forward, but if you kind of get them in the right position, like right there, they'll stay, and they'll stay really well. And as you can see, there's some nice detailing in the actual knives themselves. Really well done. Lots of detail in the handle as well, which just looks great. And then, like I said, can be put just in the slots right here, and then they fit really nice. It doesn't bend them or anything like that, and they can just stay right there, and it's pretty perfect. So I have to say, overall, that is quite nice. You can put them in the other way if you were wondering, like this. Just gonna, here you go. You can put them in like this. And just kind of, do a lot of cool poses. It does. This one is kind of bent a little bit. It kind of goes up at the end, unfortunately. Yeah, let's focus. There we go. Kind of goes up at the end a little bit, which is a shame. This one doesn't really have that problem. It seems to be pretty straight, which is quite nice. Overall, though, the figure is just really quite great. I mean, the accessories are really nice. He's got those really well designed and detailed knives, and like I said, it's really great that you can get a place for them to be held on the actual figure himself, and he doesn't have to have them in his hands. The actual just sculpt is beautiful, I have to say. I love the tattooed body. I think it's really quite remarkable, especially when you go to the back, because there's just so many tattoos that it really just lets you see the craftsmanship that went into this guy, because it is really quite spectacular. And the face sculpt, I mean, it looks really accurate to the character, which is just great. Articulation wise, very good, pretty standard Marvel Legends articulation of today's standards. They're pretty much the same. But he's got a ball jointed ball hinge neck, which allows him to look up quite far and look down completely far, as well as swivel. So overall, that's very nice. It is just on a ball joint. It can be popped off. I mean, you can like do crazy stuff, like put other people's heads and stuff on them. So it's just a standard ball joint, which is kind of nice. Then we go down to the shoulders, standard ball hinge, nothing really special there, but just everything standard. Bicep swivel, double hinge elbows, with the hinges being a bit soft plastic, so it's a bit annoying, but not too bad at all. Ball hinge wrists, which are nice. He's got an ab crunch, which is on a very hard ratchet, but it can look up quite far, and it can go down quite far, which is nice. Swivel at the waist, ball jointed hips with a thigh swivel, double hinge knees, and hinge pivoting ankles. So overall, articulation is quite nice, and you can definitely pull off some cool poses with him using his knives. Just wish that we had a villain or whatnot in this series so that we can pose like some of the heroes fighting the villains, because it definitely seems necessary. But we do get the entire Guardians of the Galaxy team, which is great, so we'll be able to put them in some really nice group poses together. So overall, that is quite good. And so let's go over some comparisons now. Alright, so here's comic and movie Drax from the Marvel Legends series compared to each other. As you can see, they look pretty nice together. You can tell that they are the same character. They hold a lot of similarities, but while the comic one is done in a very comic look and very cartoonish type of look, the movie one is done in a really nice, realistic movie type of way. But overall, they do look really cool to get. They look really cool together. It's not like one of those things where if you have the movie one, then I really recommend getting the comic one, because they look really cool together. It's not like that. Like, if you have the movie one, you don't need the comic one. But if you have the comic one, then it is kind of nice to have both of them, because they do look pretty neat together. And it's nice to see a comparison between, how he was made in like the 90s or whatever when Guardians of the Galaxy was created, compared to how he is in a very realistic and natural look. So overall, that is quite neat. Overall, this figure is really nice. It's very hard for me to say to go and buy it, because either you are planning on completing the team and then of course you're going to buy him, or you really just don't have any interest in Guardians of the Galaxy. There's really not much that the toy just by itself can convince you of. I will say that the toy is really nice, and it's definitely a really well done, really well built, and just a really good toy like you'd expect from Marvel Legends, because they really do some good work. But if for some reason you're on the fence and you're not quite sure, I say go ahead, get Drax first, because Drax is probably the best. I don't have Rocket Raccoon, obviously, but as far as Drax and Star-Lord seem to be the best out of the series. I think the Star-Lord, just as a figure, Drax is the best, but because Star-Lord comes with so many interchangeable pieces and accessories, it does definitely boost up Star-Lord. But overall, this is a really great figure, definitely highly recommended. The only one that's been a little disappointing is Gamora, but I kind of expected her to be the weak link, and the figure is, unfortunately. But still, this is a great figure. He comes with some really nice sculpted weapons. He's got a really great design and sculpt that's really quite intricate, and overall he's a decent size, and he's got some great posability. So it is a really nice figure, but either you're gonna get the Guardians of the Galaxy team or you're not, so it's not really a matter of convincing you guys to get him. But if you are planning on getting him, you will be happy, because he is definitely going to be a fun, cool toy. So there you go. So that's my video review of the Guardians of the Galaxy Marvel Legends Infinite Series Drax figure. Thank you so much for watching.